Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Nova Scotia. Welcome back to Colorful Creations. I'm going to do another Dutch pour today. I'm going to have all these colors here. If you can see them all in the camera. I'm going to go through these quickly. No particular order. This is Phthalo green. This is by Mont Marte. I usually don't use much Mont Marte for colors like this because they're not very vibrant, but this is a pretty good one. These are mixed how I always mix them. There is a link to a video in the description. They're just thinned out a little more than I would do for like an open cup or a flip cup or anything like that, because I'm using a hairdryer, and with a hairdryer, like, you want to be able to blow the paint easier, so you want it a little thinner. This is Pebeo green blue, Pebeo Iridescent green blue. It's like a little chunk in there. Get rid of that. We have, this is by Mont Marte. This is just a plain black. This is DecoArt 24 karat gold. Got a little bit of that green in there. I'm gonna get that out. All right, there we go. This will dry a little bit more vibrant than what that is there. This is a FolkArt blue quartz. Just beautiful. We have a DecoArt Neon Pink. And I have a little bit of white mixed with this just to make it a little more opaque. It's really transparent, so it tends to get covered. This is Titanium White by Mont Marte. And this is what I'll be using for the base as well. This is a purple by Mont Marte. Another one of those rare colors that Mont Marte has that actually is nice. And I have a little iridescent in there too. A little metallic purple added. This is ultramarine blue with some metallic blue added. That's by Mont Marte for the ultramarine blue, and Sargent Art for the metallic blue. And last one is Pebeo Iridescent green yellow. I love this one. It's so bright. All right, now I'll show you the canvas. All right, so here we are. This is 18 by 24. It is a level 1, and it is paint over. I am testing out all these colors. I haven't used all these colors together before, so I wanted to do a tester and make sure it's not gonna ruin a big canvas. So, like I said, it's a paint over, so I don't really care too much about it if this doesn't work out. I did cover it with black gesso. It comes in black and white. I only had black. White would have been better, but it's okay, it will cover. I covered the edge in white just so that will cover a lot easier. So like the amount of paint that I put on top will be thick enough to cover the black, no problem, but as it runs off the side, it thins out. So sometimes it's a little hard to cover the edge. That's why I paint it in white. And when I do that, I don't add anything to it. I just use a plain titanium white or whatever, cheap white something, and paint it on with a paintbrush. And you don't even have to let it dry. This is dry, but if you want to do it right away, you don't have to let it dry. The wet paint going over it's not gonna hurt anything. So I have a big jug of that white mixed up, the same consistency that I just showed you there. I'm gonna just pour this over the top of this. You want a nice thick coat for a Dutch, because you want your paint to flow very easily over it. I'm just gonna spread this out a little bit here. You can tilt it around. You can use a hair dryer to blow it, whatever you want. This spatula is working pretty good, so. And I am gonna tilt this a little bit just to cover my edges and then make sure it's nice and smooth. It's really nice to have a nice flawless base to start with. And also, this is a good way, if you can see this in chunks. I did strain my paint to make sure, but looks like there is something here. So I'm just gonna give this a quick torch to get rid of all these bubbles. I don't really have to, I guess, but I want to make sure that these are all bubbles and not just chunks that I could have got out. they all flatten out, I'm good to go. Seems to be something here still. Alright, so the hair dryer that I'll be using today is nothing special, just a regular hair dryer. I used it for my hair before, but I started wearing it curly and didn't need it anymore. So this is my hair dryer for painting. But you can use any size. Some people like to use really tiny ones for doing small, like a really small painting, and look at, you kind of figure it out and do what works best for you. I like to use this attachment. I got this on Amazon. It was a set of 3. This is the biggest one. It was like $13, not a lot. It just gives you more control over the air coming out, and that just fits on the end. It doesn't clip or anything. It just stays on there. Super easy. All right, so now I'm gonna put all these colors on. I think I'm just gonna do it in the middle, a little something. I'm gonna start with my black because that is the most opaque color. Opaque. It's the darkest color. I don't know what that word is. Okay, and I'm gonna just kind of go a little bit like this, I think. And then I'm gonna try to put these on like the darkest ones on the bottom, but I'm gonna I like to do this actually. And that way they're not all covering each other and there's more chance of all of them showing up. So that was that green blue by Pebeo. This is the blue quartz. This one's pretty. I'm gonna throw on some gold. I just want a little bit of this to show up. I will do a DecoArt Pink. And the green yellow. Okay, and I like to throw a little bit of white, just kind of break it up a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Now, there is a lot of white on here, but I always like to make sure there's extra, because when I blow this, I want this to really like go as far as it wants to go. So I'm gonna add some white. That's a lot there, wow. All around the colors. I probably have too much and a lot's gonna fly off the canvas, but it's better than not enough. Now I like to kind of go with the direction of the paint and then kind of push it like a little bit sideways. If you come right in this way, I don't like the look that makes, and you end up, I find I end up hitting this white and covering it, and it just doesn't really look that good. So I like to kind of go with it like that. Here we go.
There's no place I'd rather be than here with you. That's all I need. There's no one I'd rather see close to me. That's all I need. If I could stay here, then I will stay here forever. If you remain still, then let's be our best together.
All right. I find it's always better to just leave it and not mess with it. Once you start messing with it, it just gets worse. So like nice, keep it nice and simple like that. I mean, It's good, right? Let's take the torch and get rid of the bubbles. And I think I'm gonna get some more cells popping up in this, which would be really nice. All right, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I just love it. I am gonna bring you in for a closer look on this. First though, while I'm here, I'm just gonna run my finger under the edge to get rid of the excess paint. At the same time, I'm checking my corners, edges to make sure they're all covered. And if there's like this spot here, I just use a little bit of paint from the table and just dab it with my finger. The corners are the hardest parts to cover. And then I just run my finger under the edge to get rid of that. And also make sure my cups are just sitting inside the frame. Not on the canvas part, you want them on the frame, but just inside of it, just so that the paint is free to run off the edge and it doesn't just glue itself there. These level 1 canvases are very easy to cover the edges, so it's not a huge deal. But with a level 3, it's a little harder. Let's have a look at this beauty. I really like it. Tell me what you think. Look at these iridescents just shining. It's so vibrant, but it's not too much because of all the white negative space. Beautiful. See, I did put a lot of paint on there. There's a lot wasted off the side, but you know, that's kind of what happens. I love this part's, I love it. I love all of it.